Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting topics for coin collectors and treasure hunters, the most valuable wheat pennies ever made so special. How much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. So let's get started. First up, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. Without mint mark is one of the final issues in the beloved Wheat Cent series, and holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and history enthusiasts. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin comes from a time when the United States was enjoying post-war prosperity, and everyday change still carried real copper and craftsmanship. Even though your coin is in damaged condition with noticeable scratches and wear, it remains a piece of American history that continues to capture attention in today's collector market. The obverse of the coin features the timeless image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This portrait has been used on the penny for more than a century, making it one of the longest-running designs in American coinage. Above Lincoln's head reads, "In God We Trust," a phrase that first appeared on U.S. coins during the Civil War and became a national motto. To the left of Lincoln is the word liberty, and to the right appears the date 1956. Since there is no mint mark, this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these copper cents that year. Your coin shows visible signs of wear and damage from circulation, with scratches across both sides and loss of some finer details, especially on Lincoln's hair, cheek, and coat. The fields, or flat areas, may have small dents or surface discoloration. However, even in this condition, the design remains identifiable, and it still represents a genuine historical collectible. Many collectors appreciate coins like this for their authenticity and the stories they carry through years of use. On the reverse side, the familiar wheat ears design created by Brenner is still visible, though worn and softened with age. Two curved stalks of wheat border the large inscriptions, 1 cent and United States of America. At the top, the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one can still be read. Though your coin's reverse may have scratches and areas of discoloration, the overall layout remains recognizable, and the wheat stalks, even if faint, symbolize the agricultural heritage and strength of the nation during the early and mid-20th century. The 1956 wheat penny represents one of the last years of the wheat design, which was discontinued after 1958 when the Lincoln Memorial reverse was introduced. During 1956, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 420 million wheat cents, while the Denver Mint struck more than 1 billion. This large production means that 1956 pennies are not considered rare, but condition and eye appeal still influence their value. Collectors often seek examples with sharp details and bright color, but even well-worn or damaged coins like yours can hold sentimental or educational value. The composition of the 1956 penny remains the classic 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc alloy, giving it a rich reddish-brown hue that deepens naturally with age. Over time, oxidation can darken the color, especially when the coin has been exposed to air and moisture. Your coin's darkened tone and scratches are natural signs of circulation, showing that it was used by countless Americans in everyday life during a vibrant period of the nation's history. When it comes to value, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark is considered a common date. In damaged condition, its value is generally around 2 to 3 cents, primarily due to its copper content and collectible interest. Coins in good condition typically sell for about 5 cents, while those in fine to very fine condition can reach 10 to 20 cents. Extra fine examples may be worth 25 to 40 cents, and uncirculated coins with full luster can sell for $1 to $3, depending on color and sharpness. Bright red, uncirculated pieces certified by grading services sometimes sell for over $5, especially when they display excellent eye appeal. Even though your coin's monetary value is modest, Its historical and symbolic value remains strong. This penny was minted during the Eisenhower era, a time when America was growing rapidly, and small coins like this played an important role in everyday transactions. From vending machines in candy stores to gas stations and post offices, the 1956 penny passed through the hands of countless Americans, each with their own story and purpose. Every scratch and mark on your coin tells part of that story, a story of use, time, and endurance. For collectors, even a damaged 1956 wheat penny is a meaningful piece. It represents the final chapter of the wheat design before the modern era began. Many people who start coin collecting begin with these late wheat pennies because they are affordable, easy to find, and carry deep historical roots. They remind us of the value of craftsmanship and the simple beauty of American coinage before modern mass production changed how coins were made. Your 1956 Lincoln wheat penny, without mint mark, though damaged, remains a symbol of history, resilience, and continuity. While its current market value is around 2 to 3 cents, it is far more than just a piece of old copper. It's a tangible connection to a time when coins were made to last, and stories were told through every cent that changed hands. Next up, the 1958 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark is one of the final and most memorable issues of the classic wheat cent series, marking the end of an era in American coinage. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries great historical charm and is highly collectible among enthusiasts. Your coin, in extra fine condition with a few small scratches, still retains much of its original beauty and remains a fine representation of the craftsmanship and history behind America's longest-running 1-cent design. In extra fine condition, your coin shows only light wear on the highest points of Lincoln's design: his cheekbone, jawline, and hair above the ear, while most other details remain sharp and visible. The bow tie and coat lines are still distinct, and the coin retains a pleasing copper-brown tone that comes naturally with age. A few scratches on the surface are typical for coins that saw short circulation before being saved, and they add character without significantly affecting the coin's overall appeal. Turning to the reverse, we see the classic wheat ears design that gives this series its popular name, the wheat penny. Two curved stalks of wheat run along the left and right sides, framing the central inscriptions, 1 cent, and United States of America. At the top appears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. On your coin, the reverse remains well detailed, with visible lines in the wheat and strong lettering that reflects its extra fine quality. Despite some minor surface marks, the overall presentation remains sharp and balanced, making it a nice collectible from the final year of this iconic design. The 1958 D. Lincoln wheat penny holds a special place in U.S. coin history because it was the last year the wheat design appeared. In 1959, the U.S. Mint replaced it with the Lincoln Memorial Reverse to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This transition marked the end of nearly 50 years of the wheat penny, a design that had become a symbol of the nation's strength and progress through both world wars, the Great Depression, and the post-war boom. The Denver Mint produced an enormous number of these coins, more than 800 million pieces, making the 1958 D wheat penny one of the most common dates in the entire series. Even so, collectors treasure it as the final issue before the design change, and many people who grew up during that time still remember using wheat pennies in everyday life. Because so many were saved as keepsakes, examples like yours remain readily available today. But condition plays an important role in determining value. Now let's talk about value in today's coin market. The 1958 D wheat penny is not considered rare, but coins in extra fine condition like yours do hold a bit of collectible worth. In good condition, this coin usually sells for around 3 to 5 cents. In fine condition, values rise to about 8 to 10 cents, while very fine examples are worth around 15 to 20 cents. Coins in extra fine condition, like yours, generally sell for 25 to 40 cents, depending on overall eye appeal and the intensity of the original color. Uncirculated examples can range between $1 and $3. And bright red uncirculated pieces with original luster may bring $5 to $10 or more, especially if certified by professional grading services. Although the 1958 D penny is not a high-value coin, it carries great historical and sentimental value. It represents the last chapter of an American classic, a design that began in 1909 to honor one of the nation's greatest presidents and ran through nearly half a century of change. Each 1958 D penny connects us to that story, to the people who used it in everyday transactions, and to a time when the simple penny still held purchasing power. The coin's composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc gives it a rich, natural color that deepens over the decades. Many collectors love the warm brown or red-brown shades that appear as the metal ages gracefully. Your coin's small scratches are normal for circulated pieces and do not detract from its historic charm. They are signs of genuine use, evidence that this coin once played a small but real part in American life during the late 1950s. For collectors, the 1958 D wheat penny is an essential coin, symbolizing both an ending and a beginning. It was the final issue of the wheat reverse, yet it also set the stage for the Lincoln Memorial design that would follow for the next 50 years. Your coin, with its extra fine detail, light wear, and small imperfections, stands as a perfect example of this transition, a piece that bridges two distinct eras of U.S. coinage. Next up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the most widely recognized coins in the entire wheat cent series, and it carries a fascinating story from one of the most important years in American history. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin was produced during the final years of World War II, a time when every piece of metal held deep national importance. Your coin, in good condition with some scratches, may have traveled through countless hands over the decades, serving as a small but tangible reminder of the strength and resilience of the American people. In good condition, your coin shows moderate wear across Lincoln's face, hair, and coat. The details of his cheek and jawline are mostly smooth, and the finer lines of his hair are faint but visible. The inscriptions remain clear and readable, which keeps the coin appealing to collectors despite its age and surface scratches. These marks are common for coins that circulated widely, especially during the 1940s, when millions of Americans used every cent in daily life. Turning to the reverse side, you can see the well-known wheat ears design, which gives this coin its popular name, the wheat penny. Two curved stalks of wheat rise along the left and right borders, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. At the top of the reverse is the national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. On your coin, the wheat lines may be worn down from years of handling, but their outline remains visible. The bold lettering and warm brown tone of the copper still carry that distinctive wheat penny look that collectors love. The year 1944 is especially significant for U.S. coin collectors because it marks the return of the copper penny after the unusual steel cents of 1943. In 1943, the U.S. Mint temporarily made pennies out of zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for wartime production. However, the steel cents rusted easily and confused people because they looked like dimes. So in 1944, the Mint returned to the traditional copper alloy, made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, but this time they used recycled shell casings from the war effort to produce the coins. This gives the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny a special connection to American history, as it was literally struck from materials that once served in the nation's defense. More than 1.4 billion 1944 Lincoln wheat pennies were struck in Philadelphia, making this one of the most common dates in the entire series. Because of the huge mintage, the coin is not rare, but its historical importance makes it a favorite among collectors. Even coins in worn condition are often saved as keepsakes or passed down through families as pieces of the World War II era. When it comes to value, condition plays a major role. A good condition 1944 Lincoln wheat penny like yours, with visible wear and some scratches, is generally worth around 5 to 10 cents in today's coin market. In fine condition, values rise to about 15 to 20 cents, while very fine examples may bring 25 to 35 cents. In extra fine condition, the coin could sell for 40 to 75 cents, and uncirculated examples with bright red color can range from $1 to $5 or more, depending on their shine and quality. Although the value may seem modest, the coin's historical meaning makes it far more special than its price tag. Collectors often admire the 1944 wheat penny, not for rarity, but for what it represents: the endurance of the nation through one of the most difficult times in history. Every 1944 penny tells a story of the American home front, when people saved metal, worked in factories, and supported the war effort in any way they could. Coins like this circulated through gas stations, grocery stores, and factories, touching the lives of ordinary citizens who helped shape the course of history. Your coin, with its marks and wear, is part of that same story. Its surface may have scratches, but those are the marks of time, evidence that it served a real purpose in an era of sacrifice and rebuilding. The copper's aged tone gives it warmth and authenticity, reminding us that even the smallest coins can carry powerful meaning. Next up, the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a beautiful reminder of America's history during the late Great Depression era. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, the main U.S. mint facility that did not use a mint mark at that time. Every 1937 Lincoln cent represents a piece of a challenging yet hopeful period in the nation's story. And your coin, in very fine condition with some scratches, still carries that history through its aged copper surface and time-worn design. Because your coin is in very fine condition, it shows noticeable but even wear across Lincoln's cheek and jawline, while the hair above his ear and coat lines are still distinct. The fields, or flat areas of the coin, may show some scratches and dullness from circulation, yet the overall detail remains strong enough to highlight the artistry of Brenner's original design. These signs of use tell a story of a coin that was likely part of countless daily transactions during the late 1930s, when every cent truly mattered. On the reverse side, the coin displays the classic wheat ears design, which gave rise to the nickname wheat penny. The two stylized wheat stalks curve along the sides, surrounding the bold inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Above them, the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, remains readable. The wheat grains are still visible on your coin, though slightly worn, indicating the light to moderate circulation typical for a very fine grade. The reverse still shows that traditional, reddish-brown tone of aged copper that collectors love. The 1937 wheat penny was minted in large numbers, over 300 coin. 9 million coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone. Because of this, it is not a rare coin in general circulation, but its condition and luster determine its collector appeal and value. Most of these coins were used heavily in everyday trade during a time when the economy was recovering from the Great Depression. It's likely that your coin passed through the hands of workers, shopkeepers, and families who were slowly rebuilding their lives during one of the most transformative decades in U.S. history. The 1930s were a time of economic hardship, but also of innovation and perseverance. Pennies like this were used to buy bread, milk, and other essentials when every coin counted. This gives your 1937 wheat penny not only monetary value, but also deep historical and sentimental significance. Each scratch and worn detail represents a moment in the lives of people who lived through a defining era. Now, when we consider the value of your coin in today's market, condition plays a key role. In good condition, a 1937 wheat penny usually sells for around 5 to 10 cents. In fine condition, the value rises to around 15 to 25 cents. While a very fine condition coin like yours can typically be worth between 30 and 50 cents, depending on its color and overall eye appeal. If the coin were in extra fine condition, the price could reach 60 to 75 cents. And in uncirculated grades, the value may go from $2 to $5 or more, especially if the coin has a strong red or red-brown tone and minimal marks. Although this coin does not command high prices, its value lies in its charm and the history it carries. Collectors often admire coins like the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny because they represent a time when America was strong enough to endure economic struggle and emerge with renewed hope. The penny's design, with Lincoln's calm and determined expression, perfectly reflects that spirit. Your coin, in very fine condition with some scratches, stands as a genuine artifact of that time. The slight surface marks add character, and the remaining sharpness of the details shows that it was well preserved compared to most circulated examples. The color of aged copper, likely a warm brown with hints of red, adds to its collector appeal. Today, many people still search their pocket change, hoping to find a Lincoln wheat penny like this one. Even though most of them are not rare, they are always exciting to discover because they remind us of a simpler era, a time when the penny truly had value and meaning in daily life. The 1937 Lincoln cent connects us directly to that past, to the stories of the people who once used it, and to the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln, whose legacy of honesty and leadership continues to inspire. Next up, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark is one of the post-World War II era coins that holds a special place in American numismatic history. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small letter D just below the date on the obverse side. Your coin, in extra fine condition with some scratches, still retains much of its original beauty, making it a wonderful piece for collectors who appreciate the rich legacy of the Lincoln cent series. Because your coin is in extra fine condition, the details are still quite sharp. The lines of Lincoln's hair remain well-defined, his cheek and jaw show only light wear, and the bow tie and coat edges are clear and visible. The fields, or the smooth surfaces surrounding the design, may show small marks and light scratches, which is typical for a coin that has seen some circulation. The copper tone likely shows a mix of light brown and red hues, giving it that warm, classic wheat penny appearance that collectors admire. Turning to the reverse side, we find the iconic wheat ears design that gives this coin its nickname, wheat penny. The design features two stylized wheat stalks curving upward along the left and right edges of the coin, enclosing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. At the top of the coin, the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, appears clearly. On your coin, the fine lines within the wheat ears are still visible, though slightly softened by age and wear, and the lettering remains strong and readable. The overall look of the reverse side beautifully reflects the craftsmanship of early 20th century American coinage. 1946 Lincoln wheat penny has a historical significance that goes beyond its design. It was minted just 1 year after the end of World War II, a time when the United States was shifting from wartime production to rebuilding peace and prosperity. During the war years, the U.S. Mint had experimented with different materials for coins, most notably the steel cents of 1943, which were made to save copper for ammunition and other military needs. By 1946, however, the Mint had fully returned to the traditional copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. giving the coins a familiar reddish-brown color once again. The Denver Mint produced an impressive 315,690,000 coins in 1946, making the 1946 D Lincoln cent quite common in circulation. Because of this large mintage, the coin is not rare, but its age, condition, and post-war historical context give it strong collector appeal. The fact that your coin remains in extra fine condition more than 7 decades later is a testament to its preservation and quality. Now let's discuss the value of your coin in today's market. In circulated grades, the 1946 D penny is worth modest amounts, but coins in higher grades can attract more interest from collectors. A good condition example may be worth around 5 to 10 cents, while coins in fine condition typically range from 15 to 25 cents. In very fine condition, values rise to around 30 to 40 cents. Because your coin is in extra fine condition, it usually carries a market value of around 50 cents to $1, depending on the exact color tone and surface quality. If the coin were in uncirculated condition with bright red luster and minimal marks, it could sell for $2 to $5 or even higher among collectors seeking well-preserved examples. Although the 1946 D Lincoln wheat penny isn't considered rare, it stands out as one of the first post-war issues, a coin that symbolizes recovery and progress after years of global conflict. Many collectors cherish this coin because it marks the return of stability in both American coinage and daily life. It circulated during a time when soldiers were coming home, industries were expanding, and the country was entering a new age of growth. Every penny from this period carries a quiet reminder of that historic transformation. Your 1946 D wheat penny, with its warm copper color, clear mint mark, and visible details, tells that story perfectly. The minor scratches and marks only add to its authenticity, proving that it has lived a long life in circulation before finding its way into your collection. It's not just a small coin, it's a preserved piece of post-war America, an era when hope and rebuilding defined the nation's spirit. In today's collector market, your 1946 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark, in extra fine condition with some scratches, generally holds a value of around 50 cents to $1, though beautifully preserved examples can bring slightly more. Its worth is modest in dollars, but immeasurable in history and symbolism.